Are you trying to find some affordable neighborhoods in the Salem School District of Virginia Beach? We're going to talk about the top 6 neighborhoods in the Salem School District that are under $300,000, and we're starting right now. Hey, my name is Sansalone, and I'm a real estate agent in Hampton Roads, Virginia. And if it's your first time, welcome. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification, and you'll get notified every time that I do a video. I do them every Wednesday. I do them about Hampton Roads and real estate in Hampton Roads. But today we're talking about the top 6 neighborhoods in the Salem School District that are also affordable. The Salem School District is one of the higher ranked school districts in the Virginia Beach area amongst the online rating systems. So people often ask me about a lot of these school districts, and some are looking for neighborhoods in them that aren't necessarily priced in the $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 and up range. They're looking for something a little bit more affordable. So what I'm doing here is give you some examples of neighborhoods that are more affordable under $300,000 to give you some perspective on what else is available here in the Salem School District. The Salem School District is in the south central-ish part of Virginia Beach. It's kind of bordered by areas where you see Indian River Road, Farrell Parkway, Lynn Haven Parkway, Salem Road. These are all streets that are in the Salem School District. And inside this little section are lots of neighborhoods. Some of these were built in the 70s, going to the 80s, 90s, and even new construction up to current time. However, some of these are a little bit higher priced, so I'm going into some specific ones that are a little bit more affordable. Number 1 is Indian Lakes. Now, this one was one of the first in this area that were built, starting in the 70s and 80s. Some of them are very modest size, like 1,000, 1,200 square feet, you know, starting even at sometimes 2 bedroom, but most of them are 3 and sometimes 4 bedroom in that 1,600 square foot range. But they go really from about 1,000 to about 2,000 square feet, and they start as low as in the upper 100s, like I'd say 180 to 190. You might see some of those smaller models, but the median range here is anywhere from 220 to 240, 245, and you'll see some that are up to 280 and 300, but floor plans are pretty manageable and livable. They often have separate rooms downstairs and a decent sized city lot. Not too big necessarily, but enough for if you have a small family, it's perfectly fine. But also with Indian Lakes, you also have the Property Owners Association. So this is another $30 or so a month, but you do get some nice amenities along with that. I'll drop some information below in the description about the Indian Lakes Property Owners Association if you want to learn more about that. Now, next is Rosemont Forest. This is right across the street in a sense from Indian Lakes. These are also built in the same time period, but more so in the 80s. They have, there's 2 separate areas. One side has some houses that look detached, but they're actually attached on one side by a storage shed. These are in the $225, $235 price range, but across Lynn Haven Parkway, you'll see most of these are detached single family houses, and they go as low as $215, $220, and you'll of course see some townhouses as well in here that are priced in the $160, $170, and $180 price range. So if you're looking for something even more affordable, you have that option also. And townhouses that have garages, and they go up to $200,000. But if you want to get into something a little bit larger, detached house, you're going to talk closer to $215, $225, go up to about $280 or so. They're a similar size and yard size as what's in Indian Lakes. Now the thing about Rosemont Forest though is that there's no HOA. So if you're not really a big fan of HOAs at all, this might be the best spot in all of Salem to look at. In addition to Rosemont Forest itself, next door to that is a place called Points West, which is a condo neighborhood that you could consider being in Rosemont Forest. It's a very small, like essentially like 2.5 streets worth of condos, usually about 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, about 1,600 square feet. They go in that $165 to $175 price range, but there is a condo fee of about $270 a month that does increase your payment significantly. That's a really nice floor plan here in Points West. But again, with the condo idea, you're paying for it. It's about $270 a month. Now next we have Spence Crossing, which is a condo development, a newer one built in the last few years. These start in the mid 200s and go really way over 300,000. I mean, the larger houses are over 300, but there are some that are 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. Again, these are newer, so you have different kinds of floor plans than what you would expect in the Indian Lakes or Rosemont Forest areas. So if you want something a little bit lower maintenance, newer, this is a good option for you and still in the same area. Some of these go up to as high as $330, $340. You'll still see new construction in here being built. However, the more affordable new construction in here is the 2-bedroom floor plans that are under $300,000. Now with Spence Crossing, the HOA fee is about $200 a month. So again, you're talking just over $30,000 worth of mortgage. So if you bought a house that's $270 in Spence Crossing, you'd be at around the equivalent of a $300,000 house that didn't have an HOA fee at all. Now, down the street from there is Windcrest Condos. These are detached, some are attached, and some have garages. These are also newer construction built in the last 15 to 20 years. These start 2 to 3 bedrooms in the 240 to 265 price range, and they're about 1,500 to 2,000 square feet. But you can go higher than that. Some of the larger ones are over 2,000 square feet. This is a real small neighborhood that's kind of right in the middle of Salem, right near Lynn Haven, where the Walmart is. So this is pretty quick access to shopping. Most of the area is real close together. So if you're looking for something with larger streets, wider parking areas, this might not be the best option for you, but a lot of these have the garage options. But if you're looking for something that has that uniform neighborhood feel, not too expensive, but you don't mind not having as much drivability through your neighborhood, this might be a good spot in that $250 price range. Now, this condo fee is about $130. So if you're taking that condo fee and adding it to your mortgage, it's almost like you're paying about $20,000-ish more for the house because of the amount the condo fee is based on current interest rate. Now I want to talk about a couple neighborhoods that are mostly higher price, over $300,000, but there have been some good deals and some options that come up under $300,000 that I want to talk to you about. One is Glenwood. This is a neighborhood that's usually between $300,000 and $400,000. Real nice neighborhood. These are most of them are 4 bedrooms and up, 2,000 square feet and higher. However, there are some floor plans that are smaller, like the 1,700 square foot range, and some you might get a good deal like on a short sale or foreclosure in this neighborhood that are under $300,000 also. This is a huge neighborhood with an association that's about the same price as the Indian Lakes, about $30 a month. And you also have some attached houses in here as well, 2 to 3 bedroom, anywhere from 900 to around 1,500 square feet. You can get them as low as close to 100,000, but going up to past 220,000. One thing is you still have an HOA that's about $30 a month, but in addition to that, these condos have a condo fee of about $260. So just because the price range is lower doesn't mean that you're going to have a lower payment necessarily. Again, with this condo fee of $260, that's just about $45,000 or so of mortgage. So if you're buying a house for $150 in here, it's kind of close to almost like if you're paying almost $200. But the one thing about Glenwood and these condos also is that it's really close to the Honeybee Golf Course, which is a very nice golf course centrally located in the middle of Salem. So again, while Glenwood's houses usually are 2,000 square feet and up and cost over $300,000, close to $400,000, if you do find a house in Glenwood that's under 3, whether it be a little bit smaller floor plan or possibly a foreclosure, this could be a really good deal for you, and you're going to be in one of the larger and more developed areas in all of Salem. And so you'll have some built up equity, and if you do want to sell because you're buying in a neighborhood that usually is a little bit higher priced, you're buying one of the smaller houses or cheaper houses in there, there's a good chance you're going to have the ability to turn around and sell it pretty quickly if you have to. The same goes for Salem Woods. This is across the street and down from Rosemont Forest. This is actually very close to the Salem High School itself. These are really, really nice houses. I mean, they mostly are, again, over $300,000 and even close to and over $400,000 in some places. Big houses, 4 or 5 bedrooms, 2,500 square feet in some places. This neighborhood is similar in that you're still paying mostly between $300,000 and $400,000 for houses in here. However, I will say, just like the Glenwood neighborhood, in this case, about 10% of the houses in Salem Woods sell under $300,000. So if you have some time, it's all about giving yourself time to wait for a house in here, and you can find one that's like $270,000, $280,000, $290,000, or a foreclosure, for instance. This might be a place to pounce on one, because just like in Glenwood, if you do have to sell, you're going to be able to sell usually pretty quickly, and you're in a great neighborhood right down the street from the high school. These are some of my favorite streets though. It's a nice balance of a nice house and nice streets, because again, you've heard me talk about my wide streets. I love my wide streets and trees. So it has that developed and settled neighborhood feel that a lot of areas in Virginia Beach have, but this is because it's so close to Interstate 64. This is one of my favorite neighborhoods in all of the South Central Virginia Beach area because it kind of checks a lot of boxes for me. It's not too expensive, it's close to the interstate systems, great school district, close to lots of shopping too, and I'll see you on the next video.